What a world, T-Dread on the mic, coming in fresh here with a new fit because it's 2024 up in this biz, and people be blowing me up saying, yo, Dread, when you cooking that new spice for armors? You know, I'm thirsty for it. Where you at? So, you know, I've been cooking up a new blend as it is, because we got and I'm sure Ukkomon does not even sound like that. I'm sure he can speak quite fluent English in all honesty, but I've made the association that he sounds like a Pokemon, so it is what it is. So yeah, we're gonna go over the new blends, the new sauce with the new cards, and just what I've kind of learned by piloting the deck and so forth, and some kind of like vanity changes that I've put in there as well, because you know what, I love Digimon, and I feel like you need to put your own little stamp on there, you know what I'm saying? So if this is a video for you, then stick around and enjoy it. If you're new to the channel, you like what you see, then make sure you subscribe and turn the notification bell, because I do videos on the reg. You know how I do this. So let's dive in straight into the egg. We're going to try and keep this short and sweet, because not really many things have changed. So we're just all going to go with the Ukkomon, just straight up for as standard. Don't think you need to run any more, because armors just wraps up pretty quickly. But if you want to run a 5th egg, I definitely would probably go with the Ukkomon egg. Definitely best in slot, because obviously when you do have a tamer out, you're able to draw one, which is nice. But this is just an easy condition for the aggro play, especially if you do have Ukkomon and you push out, because effectively granting you jamming is just so nice. Obviously this is restricted as of March, so we still have quite a bit of time to obviously utilize the Buka egg, so might as well get that mileage whilst you can. So that concludes that for the eggs. So flying straight in to the rookies, solid 14. Rocking at 3, we go in with the BT14 because we still need to search for those dual color cards as standard, and we also can obviously search for a dual color card with Davis as well, because he is blue and green, but we don't actually run that card. Then we go in with a new promo edition of the Vmon, because it's absolutely cracked, just basically drawing cards for days if you're basically a dual colored Digimon, which we are when we swing with our champions. Really powerful. Definitely fully invest in those if you can. And then we do have the ability to essentially reduce the cost if we do evo into a free type Digimon, which is just pretty easy condition to meet. And then we do have the Searcher BT12 Vmon, rocking a solid 4 of, because this is obviously primary just to basically get all your free type Digimon, and that also includes the Ukkomon there as well, because it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to get a blue free type. So very powerful card in terms of the whole rush strategy, but Ukkomon being the actual addition here is super strong for that rush strat. I believe that you want to go full gas no brakes with this deck, and being able to essentially push out our breeding, hatch another egg and gain a memory is definitely a lot of tempo for this deck, because when we are evoing into our armors, going for those mass swings, we have ways that we can actually push that aggression to maximum heights. So realistically, you do want to be seeing Ukkomon. Obviously you can push this up to 4 and reduce this down to 2 if you want to. The reason why I'm running 3 is, I'm not gonna lie, my broke ass can't get another one, and 2, I'm already running 3 in my red hybrid profile. So realistically, I do just run 3, and I feel like 3 to 4 is just a nice, good, solid ratio. And because we do have ways to actually summon out Ukkomon back out again, outside of normal means, is actually pretty useful. So I think 3 just works quite well in this current list. So that concludes for the rookies. Going into the champions. So champions, slight change, but nothing too drastic. So obviously it's going to be your 4 BT8 Magnumons, just so good for that aggression, so good in regards to getting to high DP thresholds. If you do kind of manage to have your quite a few armors in trash, you're able to grant 2k DP per armor to the end of your opponent's turn, which is massive. And then just the evo unsuspend is just huge, so you've always got a kind of like an active blocker or another swing on board. Then going in with the BT14 Magnumon, really strong in regards to, if you do have a Vmon underneath, you're able to essentially basically play out from the source, or play out from your hand. which is once again a very strong tool. So it gives that a nice bit of sustain, a bit of lingering effect right there. Also, when it does lead full, you do draw one, which once again really facilitates your combos and so forth. So very powerful. You do want to be running that at 4. Then we go in with the Gold Digimon at 2, really good control card right here. Does not quite work with the Promo V though, so you know, I thought I'd just highlight that out right now before you misplay on there. And it is also not a free type, but the fact that you're able to effectively decrease a Digimon by 2k, and then if you do have a blue tamer out, if you have a tamer out, blue or yellow tamer out in field, or an arm in trash, then you're able to basically stun a Digimon that is 6k DP or less, which is quite massive right there. And then this is the vanity slot. Is going to be your a BT8 flame Dramon. Usually I don't run flame Dramon. It usually is the larger one. But this is just a vanity flex spot. In all honesty, I think the larger one still offers a lot more utility. But the reason why I do like flame Dramon though is just because, you know, that additional 3k DP is quite nice. It means that when we are using our options, we can kind of keep that DP threshold applied whilst we are kind of swinging and getting aggressive. So this is the reason why I have just teched it in. But realistically, I just love that fucking alt art though. It looks so sick. So yeah, that concludes for for the champions. You got to put a bit of flavor in. You know what I'm saying? Any day, love Digimon. I love the artwork that the artists produce. Going over to the level 5s, short and sweet. Go with the Ukkomon Ace. It's just a really good power play card, especially because our main focus is pretty much getting into champions. Why not make the opponent slip up and think, oh yeah, why don't we just swing in freely? Ukkomon Ace comes in, strips 2 sources, and then basically able to bounce a card with no sources back to hand. Really, really strong. You would not believe. It doesn't even matter what level they are, as long as you're able to basically strip, then it's all Gucci. Also as well, it's a nice cheap card to play down, so it is just overall just a good option if you just want to kind of bounce something back if need be. Obviously that overflow a little bit guttering, but you know, it is what it is in that front. But nice, comfortable too, just works quite nicely. So then going over to the Megas once again short and sweet. Obviously, it's going to be your BT9 Magnum X antibody, because that's your main boss card. If you can manage to get into this really early, you stop a lot of plays from the opposition. It's a very powerful card, and combo this up with your BT8 Magnum, able to keep those DP gains if you do have your trash built up there as well, can just really stall out games. And then if it was going to be deleted, effectively you can just put this on top of your security and prevent that deletion from happening. So the piercing check won't go through if there was going to happen to basically pierce through you. And it means if you've not effectively left him suspended, then effectively your blocker, your Magnumon can still block. So you don't have to essentially suspend it to trigger its all turns. You can just basically redirect, which is once again a very powerful card, especially for any kind of aggro deck that you may face. A red hybrid might struggle with this because they can't just keep chipping in, because you know you got this big boy swinging out with his D, and he's not taking no shush on that. And then we just run a nice little panic button Defex as standard, because you know Defex is just a menace. If they go wide, Defex, very very powerful card here. There's a lot of go wide decks in EX5 there as well. So you know, why not treat yourself to a nice little cheeky Defex right here. Funny story is that I actually did not out the boxes that I did get from that BT, I got zilch. I literally was Alphamon deep on that, but this was happened to be one of look at my locals. I always laugh at saying I'm sweet mid, and sometimes that sweet mid pricing can just come clutch with the sauce, and that's exactly what happened. Every time I've actually tried and came first, I've got trash, but come mid, oh man, I get the goal, I get the sauce. So yeah, that concludes for the Megas, and a nice little short story of how I got Defex. So then going on to the options and tamers. So this is where it gets a little bit spicy in comparison to my last deck profile. So we go in with the sauce. Oh edition. You know I don't play around when it comes to armors. So then we have armor texture, very powerful card with the Ukkomon strap. We do still have the same fire rockets as standard. Going on with a nice 2 little Heaven's Judgment, because you know that card is pretty busted. Awakening at 2, because once again because we run a lot of Magnamons, just being able to evo into a Magnamon again for reduced costs. Well, not necessarily a reduced cost when it comes to normal Magnamons, but if you're doing to Magnamon Ace, Magnamon Ace? God, imagine how powerful that be. Magnamon X antibody is technically at a bit of a reduced cost. He's very strong, and then the security, we're able to basically get a Magnamon in name from trash and that hand and that discard hand. Obviously, that DP protection also is very handy in this format, especially if it's in yellow vaccine. Then we go with the mental trainings. Because consistency is key. This is so powerful in order for us to essentially just keep up that momentum depending on what armors we do have. Very, very strong. And then we go in with the Ice Wall at 1, because you know this Ice Wall is just always clutch. If you just got Ice Wall, get that off of mental training. Sheesh! High roll potential, baby. And you know you just got that brother on the star. So let's just go over, because I think we generally know the premise when it comes to your fire rockets, all that jazz. But let's just go over the armor texture, because armor texture with Ukkomon is actually pretty saucy, especially if this bad boy is propped out of security. So the main security effect here is that you may play one level 3 Digimon card with 3 in its types. This is not locked down to color, and this is from hand or trash. Obviously for us, if we are getting that Ukkomon out quite early, you know, we are going to be swinging or, you know, keeping it on field, and the opponent's most likely going to delete it. You do not want to leave that boy on the field because it is a menace. So obviously if this was put out of security, we can effectively get Ukkomon back out, which then adds a lot of pressure for the opponent right there, which is pretty nuts. This is the only deck that can actually get Ukkomon back out from trash. Utilizing this card being very, very important. But armor texture is really nice because of that board president. Obviously, you know, if we don't have Ukkomon, we can get out another Vmon. We can trigger its on plays and all that good stuff. On top of that, we can obviously utilize this to continue the aggression, the aggro. That's the main premise of the whole deck. So armor texture 3 is cooking, guys. I ain't gonna lie. Don't give armors like bodies on the field, because they could just really go hard at you, which is nice. So that's definitely the massive change up that I've done here. Armor texture really valuing, and I think it's maybe a little bit slept on in this format. So give it a try, see what you think, let me know in the comments. So that's it for the options, and then lastly for the tamers. Simple and clean. We just go in with the 4 promo Davis. Like, this card alone is just nuts. Like, the fact that it just gives you so much board presence, and we're actively doing what the original kind of memory set of Davis was doing in terms of but the way we're doing it is effectively we are getting a body out, and that obviously does the on play and all that good stuff. It gives you a bit of flexibility of like what type of on play you do want to have. Or if you don't want to essentially have a search, you just want to get a freaking Ukkomon out, then you pretty much, well, not an Ukkomon out, but if you want to get a Vmon out of your choice, then you can effectively do that. But the thing that's really good is that it actually does work with Ukkomon if Ukkomon is in raising, because effectively you could put Ukkomon in the back, throw Davis and Ken out, put a Vmon out, do it on play, search all the good stuff, and then you are so flying. Like, you are flying, my guy. Because when this pushes out, I'll gain a memory just because it's a free type. Ukkomon is a free type at start of main. Push that out, trigger Ukkomon's effect, gain another memory, and then able to hatch and basically start the aggro from there. So, I mean, do I need to say more? Drop in the comments if I do, and I'll happily talk about it. But that concludes for the deck profile of armors. Revamped, refreshed, ready for 2020. Follow up in this biz. So if you enjoyed the video, smash it with smash it like as standard. And yeah, hope everyone's had a good Christmas, New Year, festivities, all the good stuff. And let's smash it for 2024. 1K, let's go! Peace out, Dread out.